Good day, everybody. My name's Travis Martin. I've lost over 100 pounds with the Shibboleth lifestyle and have come off all prescription medications. Program's changed my life, and I just want to thank God today for taking this program. Not only did God take this program and heal me, but is healing tens and tens and tens of thousands of others with this great program. No pills, no potions necessary. All you need is your local grocery store. Most powerful program that's ever been for weight loss and wellness was always just right under your nose. And you didn't know, because, we all look for things that are, it's got to be expensive. It's got to be pills or potions or some crazy thing if we're going to lose weight. Because after all, we've been trying for most of our life, and we haven't been able to crack the code. So we just keep looking and spending. All we need was a little knowledge, somebody to help us, somebody to support us in a local grocery store. So welcome, everybody. I'm glad that you're here, and we be brothers and sisters. Howdy, everybody. Good to have you, Jack. Good to have everybody today. Can you believe that it's already March? Can you believe? Can you believe it? It goes by so fast. Is this life even a vapor? It goes by so fast. So we're going to get started. Welcome to our new folks. We appreciate you. Please make sure that you go through the fast track videos and go through the lap system, take the test, pass the test, and earn the badge. These sessions that I host Monday through Friday, now at 10:30 a.m., the Q&A sessions, they're meant to help you improve upon and expound upon your knowledge of our program so that you can, shall we say, personalize it more. And if you haven't been through fast track and you haven't been through the lap system, you may leave sometimes discouraged unless you just keep coming, and you'll eventually learn through osmosis, repetitious teaching. But if you'll just go through the fast track videos, less than 10% of new members go through fast track, less than 10%. And we would have amazing, amazing results if we could just get that number up. We're having amazing results from the people that decided they were sick and tired of being sick and tired. And, instead of watching Netflix at night, they spent 2 or 3 hours over the course of a few weeks watching the fast track videos and taking notes. They really get it, and they do really well. And then these Q&A sessions are much more meaningful to the people that come, because we can personalize for you, move things forward based upon your situation and your goals. But you got to go through fast track. All right, so we're going to get started now. This is our Q&A session. Let's see what questions we have. Hello, Marcia. What are foods good in fiber? Sharon, foods that are good in fiber are your category 2s. Category 2s are very, very heavy in fiber, both insoluble and soluble fiber. Category 2 foods, because of the fiber in them, they help get a lot of blood flow to the digestive system, really ramp up that metabolism. They as well help shut down the fat bus. That's the number one reason you want to eat the foods in category 2, is to help shut down the fat bus. If you don't know what that is, let's go through the fast track videos or ask questions here, and I'll explain what the fat bus is to you. But yes, fiber helps put the brakes on the fat bus. So you need your category 2s. Category 6 also has some of those, not all of those, like peanut butter, not a lot of fiber. But you have pinto beans, black beans, red beans. They have a lot of fiber. So category 2, category 6 are great for fiber. And then we have supplemental fiber options like Advocare Fiber Packet or Thorn Fiber Mend. If you're not enjoying a lot of the category 2s and category 6s, then you could supplement with fiber. But category 2 and category 6, category 2 should be a part of almost every meal episode. So it would be really hard if you're following Shibboleth not to get in adequate fiber. Okay. Hope that helps. Any other questions? Keep those questions rolling. I don't have any updates today. My team is running a little bit behind as far as recognition. It may be they may have already done it and I didn't have time to check, but we'll round that up on Friday and thank all of our new partners and also recognize some badge earners. But keep trying to earn those badges. Humble yourself like a little child and earn those badges. Those badges signify that you're moving in the right direction. Just like a journal, they help hold you accountable. Keep your program top of consciousness. Good stuff, Sharon. Sharon says, I'm excited. January, I was in a size 12 to 14, now in a size 8 to 10, lots more energy. Just keep making this a lifestyle. How would y'all define a lifestyle? You know, a lot of people say, well, such and thus is my lifestyle. What do we do that causes us to define something as a lifestyle? Correct. April says daily habits. What are your rituals? You know, it doesn't matter that I say what I want to do, or, you know, it matters what I do. Well done is better than well said. And we all make mistakes. But if we just eat what we want, when we want, as much as we want, as often as we want, and we graze every day, every single day, and we don't earn the right to do that, work hard, play hard philosophy, then what happens? Well, first of all, the very things that we're eating, we don't even really like anymore. We're just doing it because they're part of our lifestyle. We're in bad habit mode. But you know, whatever we're doing repetitiously every day, whether it be good or bad, becomes our lifestyle. It's not the one-off. It's not that one night where you accidentally binge. That's not what got you here either. That's not what got me to over 300 pounds was my binge eating. It was the binge eating coupled with all of those lukewarm days where I really wasn't following a sound nutritional lifestyle that included moderation. So we develop our lifestyle by what we do repeatedly, what we do ritualistically over and over and over. You know, some people have a lifestyle of saying wordy dirts. They have a bad habit of cursing. Just because you hit your finger with a hammer and accidentally let one go doesn't mean you have a lifestyle of cursing. But if you curse constantly, that will become your lifestyle. I'm not here to define things good and evil necessarily, but rather to say, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, if you do it repetitively, it's going to become your lifestyle. And lifestyles are hard to change because they're habits, like April said. It's, for example, I have some bad habits that have become my lifestyle. I have some good habits. I like to work out. That's a part of my life now. That's a good lifestyle habit. But what are your lifestyle habits? Because it'll take a big person if your lifestyle has become one where you are self-inflicting wounds upon yourself through improper eating and grazing and binging. If that's your lifestyle, that's going to hurt you. And it's going to take a really big person to stop. And how do you stop? You don't just stop all those bad behaviors. You don't just stop cold turkey, all those bad behaviors, and then live with a void. There's a couple of scriptures in the Bible that teaches us how dangerous that is. So if you just try, for example, one of them, they tried to cast some demons out of a person. And the demons were, and it said the demons are cast out and the room is swept and garnished, but it wasn't, there was no replacement. There was no good spirits to replace the bad demons. So the demons come back and was many times over worse. Has anybody here ever been, you decided that you was going to eat healthier, you was going to lose weight, but you really didn't build yourself a why, and you almost tried to starve yourself. Maybe that's the right analogy here. You didn't replace bad habits with good ones. You tried to starve yourself. And then when you started gaining the weight back, it was even worse. It was even worse. You not only, you lost some weight, but you went right back to those old bad habits like there was no tomorrow and gained the weight back even faster than before and ended up unhealthier than before. And see, the Bible's telling us that when we drive out those old bad habits and those old evil spirits, worry, regret, shame, judgment, if you just try to sit here and live with a void, then it's going to come back upon you, because you're going to fill your day and fill your time with some thought process or some activity. So we want to immediately, when we get rid of the bad habit of drinking a soft drink, we want to replace that with a good habit. And it'll be tough for a while because you're going to want that old Coca-Cola again. But if you replace it with water or your approved beverage of choice or whatever, over time, you'll begin to crave that thing. But you have to be big enough and strong enough to start your rituals. You think that it's going to be hard like it is from day 1, day 2, day 3, week 2, forever, but it isn't. It would be just as hard for me now to go back to my old bad habits. I could do it, but it would be just as hard for me to go back to old bad habits. Somebody's in my yard. It would be just as hard to go back to old bad habits for me as it was in the beginning for me to change my old bad habits and make them good habits. I am really tied into my good habits when it comes to eating, because I've been engaging with them for 20 years. Bible also talks about the abyss. There was some evil spirits that was cast out of a fella, and the evil spirits begged Jesus not to send them into the abyss and to send them into the swine. They'd rather be in the swine than be sent to the abyss. You got to listen to what I'm saying here. When you try to get rid of old bad habits and you try to starve the weight off, or you don't really adopt Shibboleth as your lifestyle ritualistically and repetitiously over the next 6 months, then those moments where you at night you're sitting on the couch and you want popcorn and you're used to getting popcorn, and you try to sit there and not have your popcorn, and eventually you go look at the pantry 2 or 3 times, and then you finally get it, you finally go, and you do it over and over and over because you're living with the abyss. Find something to replace that bored time, that stress time, that anxiety time that works for you instead of working against you. That's why I love our survival kit. I love our void replacements. I don't give up anything on my program. If I want a chocolate chip cookie, I just have a different type of chocolate chip cookie that controls insulin. If I want popcorn, I have popcorn made the right way. If I want a chip, I have a chip, but I'm eating the kind that help keep the brakes on the fat bus. The only difficulty for me, and I've changed my mindset about it to the point it's not difficult anymore, but the part that's difficult for me is the desire to graze. That was really tough because I would want to graze, hand-to-mouth disease, I just wanted to graze all the time. But I finally conditioned myself that, every time I graze, it's like I not only, it's depressing that it's going to take me 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning. It's depressing to know that I need to graze even despite how it affects my health. But I got to have something in that moment. When I finally convinced myself that I prefer that light feeling, that I prefer the accomplished feeling of setting a timer on my phone and not eating until that timer goes off, nothing, no grazing. When I started doing that, I'd get a dopamine hit. Some of y'all know what a dopamine release is, right? It's that feel-good chemical that when we accomplish a task. When you eat, that's why you're addicted to eating, because when you eat, you get a dopamine release. You won't be able to just stop eating and get that dopamine release. You have to find something to replace that time with that gives you that dopamine hit. So for me, I get my dopamine hit from Happy Juice. I get my dopamine hit from a long walk. I get my dopamine hit from going to jiu-jitsu. I get my dopamine hit from feeling accomplished because I didn't eat while my timer was still clicking off the time. It's like, boom, I accomplished something. That gives you a dopamine hit. So don't think that you can just move yourself over into the void, into the abyss, and you can just white knuckle this thing. That's what I'm looking for. You can't just white knuckle this thing. What's wrong with me, Travis? I don't have any grit. I don't have any discipline. That's not it. That's not the problem. The problem is you're not systematically engaging with your daily method of operation every single day until it becomes a habit. Drinking your water, journaling, eating in the right food combinations, portions, and timing. You're not coming to class. You're not being around other like-minded people. You're not trying new things like, getting you a dance video and saying, hey, hubby, we're going to learn to dance with this dance tutorial, and that's going to be our exercise. Shake yourself. And you know what? You'll start having more fun. I know. I've been there. and I have more fun now. I'm more comfortable in my own skin, in my own home. I mean, losing weight's changed everything for me. And you only live one time. You live once, unless you're Hindu and you believe you live many times. But in this form, in this bodily form, you only live once. And I realized my whole life was about food. That was seemingly the only thing I enjoyed, and it caused me so much pain. It was literally, like I said yesterday, exchanging, like I'm having to give the food, the spirit, right? So the food spirit, it's giving me, for my instant gratification and need for it, my need for hand-mouth disease, it's giving me $1. That's a good thing. It gives me $1. But it's like I'm giving it back $10. I mean, it just sapped up all of my energy, mentally, emotionally. Why not put that behind us? All right, more Q&A. What is your opinion on the new erythritol study? Charles, I don't know. I haven't read anything about erythritol in forever. If you want to send me the study, bro, I'll check it out, though. There's so many studies on sugar alcohol. For those of you that don't know, xylitol, erythritol, those are sugar alcohols. They're antiviral, antibacterial. They can cause some digestive upset. I don't know what study that you're talking about or trying to get me to look at. There's many on it, and you have to look at who's doing the study. Is it funded by the sugar industry if it's a bad one? Is it funded by the sugar alcohol folks or whoever's manufacturing erythritol and xylitol? Here's all I know about those without even looking at a study. Here's all I know about it, okay? There's good, bad, and ugly about every sugar substitute. The best way, we get into this debate 5-6 times a year with our members. The best way forward, listen everyone, because we can really complicate this thing. We can really complicate it, y'all. Your number one objective to get rid of excess fat? All right, let me ask you something else intrinsically. Which one is worse for you? Excess fat or sugar alcohol? Okay, so let's say both are really bad. Let's say that sugar, alcohol, and it may have been a good study Charles is talking about. Again, I'm going off my experience with these kind of things. So if excess fat is the leading killer, and also sugar, alcohol, let's say it's horrible for you. They find out it's horrible for you. Which is worse? Which one promotes fat gain more profusely? Xylitol or sugar alcohol or sugar? Just call me a country boy from you, Harley. I'm not buying into all that stuff, everybody. Let's get rid of the excess fat. Now, what is the right way for everybody here to eat? Let me tell you what the right way is, okay? Are you ready? You can only have unbreaded, grilled on low temperature, organic, grilled on low temperature, unbreaded meat, and vegetables that grow from the ground, and fruit that comes from the earth. That's all you can have. You can no longer have anything that's processed. And you have to eat that stuff in the right combination to still control insulin. Is that possible? And Desiree says natural foods would be the best way. How do we know what natural is anymore? Almost every food in the grocery store is synthetic. Almost every food in the grocery store is processed. I mean, the last time, if you go buy fruit, 9 times out of 10, if you buy the pretty fruit, it has almost no taste. It's synthetically grown. So I'm telling you the right way to eat. Eat in the right food combination and eat meat that's organic, free roaming, grass-fed, wild caught, and eat vegetables that grow from the ground and fruit that comes from the earth. Eat that and eat that only. How many of you probably are going to quit within the first month? Probably going to quit. And again, we are such a polarized society on everything. By the way, you want genetically modified foods and you want synthetic foods because people are starving. You want processed foods because people are starving. Now, you don't have to eat them, but there would be even more hunger on the planet if it weren't for processed foods. You know, there's one thing that will kill you quicker than excess fat, and that's no food. Are y'all with me? Think about the common sense of what I feel that I'm saying. So if you're going to have a chip, it's better to have one that's Shibboleth approved. If you're going to have a piece of bread, it's better to have a piece of bread that's Shibboleth approved. If you're going to have a sweetened drink, it's better to have one with aspartame or sugar alcohol or stevia than sugar. Can I get an amen, please? I'm not saying that there's not one person out of 100 here that has the wherewithal. I'm not that person, but I know there's one special person here today that doesn't need this program because you have the discipline to grow your own veggies, to grow your own fruits, to hunt and fish, maybe 1 out of 1,000. You shouldn't be here. You've got all the discipline you need to be able to lose weight and live healthy and happy. I can't do it. Not yet. At this time, now I keep evolving and becoming more disciplined because I'm starting to understand the pleasure in discipline. I tried to grow a little garden 2 years ago with my work schedule. I was so fired up about it. It would have been so much better for me. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, why am I doing this instead of just going to the darn supermarket? Look, there's something. You've got to look at your personality, your ego, your philosophies. And I think most people could find some way of living their life that follow the Shibboleth tenets, no matter what lane, even if they're on a natural food lane. The biggest thing that concerns me these days is the vegan lifestyle, because the vegans aren't really, what they're eating is some of the worst crap that has ever been produced by man. Deadly, deadly processed plant fats. Just deadly. Now, if I rarely talk to a vegan that's doing it in the way that I wished I could do it, where they're just eating things that grow from the ground in minimally processed plant foods. Certainly they'll have to supplement, and they may even have to supplement with some additional protein to get all the protein they need, but pretty healthy lifestyle if you'll do it naturally. But the minute you start eating the fake meats and, you know, some of the processed vegan stuff, they're making a ton of money off that stuff and killing our people. It never fails. What is happy juice? Can Joni or Tammy, can you get Stacy Brown the links to the happy juice videos? Happy juice is more than 50 powerful plant alkaloids that shut down appetite. Not everybody's a responder. I am an amazing responder to happy juice. So watch the safety videos. It has addictive potential, shuts down appetite, makes you happy. In fact, I should have had some before coming to class today, probably. Hey, everybody. Jack, Charles, thank you for the study. I may not be able to look at it right here. I know you know my schedule better than anybody. I'll try to look at it. I hope it's promoting the benefits of sugar alcohol and not just another attack from the sugar industry. I'm a huge proponent of sugar alcohol, and I doubt I'm backing down off of it. Here's the thing, y'all. If you don't control insulin, you aren't losing fat. You're not losing fat if you don't control insulin. Just get over it. You can't do it. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. I'll get to it as soon as I can, bro. Listen, if you're going to try to make, I'm giving you the three. I'm going to do this again for my brother Charles and everybody here. I'm going to give you your three options. Here's your three options. There may be more options coming here. Stay overweight. Eat what you want, when you want, as much as you want, and just enjoy it. You get a new body in heaven. If you don't feel that gluttony is a sinful thing and you're not worried about it, go on and eat what you want to eat. If you want sugar, eat sugar. If you want fat, eat fat. Solomon even said, if you don't have any hope beyond this world, Paul said it too, I believe. I know Solomon did. Just go on and eat, drink, and be merry. See what the end of that, what does that verse say? Eat, drink, and do what? Be merry. How many of you, be honest with me here. Be honest. How many of you are doing this because I'm not going to yell at you. I'm trying to help you think differently, like I had to learn to think differently. How many of you here are doing this because you think you have to do it, but honestly, you don't really have fun doing it, but you will have fun when you reach your goal? How many of you are in that state? Don't really want to do this, but I got to do it. And I'm looking forward to reaching my goal. Some folks feel that way. Okay. That's fine. That's a natural way to feel. That's a normal thing to feel. Normal. By the way, y'all, there's also articles written that say, they're telling me, whoever's looking at Charles's article is saying, they're saying that sugar alcohol is bad for you. They also say in write-ups that Shibboleth is bad for you. I hope y'all don't quit. Lots of people say that eating plenty, there's articles that Shibboleth is not a good program. In national publications. They argue that we are fat shaming, and they argue it has immense, terrible psychological impact on people. And they're arguing that eating well-balanced food, chicken, green beans, and fruit together, or fish and broccoli and lima beans together is a bad thing. They're espousing that Shibboleth is too radical. They promote having a perfect day or no good day at all. That's what they're saying. So are we going to quit Shibboleth? Go look at YouTube today. Go look at YouTube. Whatever your favorite topic is, go research YouTube. Are y'all going to believe all the YouTube videos that say that Jesus, that our beloved Savior, it says that Jesus never existed? Are you going to believe that? How many of the things you watch on YouTube or see on Google, you know for a fact because of your own experience are not true? And now, go look at ChatGPT and the stuff it's putting out. Go look at, literally this morning, there was a live video that had Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and others on it live, and it was all fake. It wasn't even them. It was a production of virtual people that looked and sounded just like those folks. Artificial intelligence, you thought you were easily deceived before. All I got to do is go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, please write an article that's against Shibboleth, the Shibboleth lifestyle and diet, and it'll churn out everything it can come up with and have you I ain't doing Shibboleth because I believe what I read. Why not believe this? Let me ask y'all this. I'm going to keep going with this thought. Charles opened up a can. Think about this. How many of y'all have had sugar alcohol since you've been doing this program and you've lost fat and your blood markers have improved? Explain that to me. You have Charles Grant, you do too, bro. You've had experiential results. You have experienced results by having some sugar alcohol. Your blood markers, the way the doctor assesses if you're healthier or not, has improved. But it doesn't take much for God's people to be persuaded otherwise by reading an article. Not Charles, I'm just letting y'all, because this is coming. If I'm going to have a ministry in the future, I'm going to have to fight. I'm going to have to spend way too much time saying, but you've gotten results with Shibboleth. And not just weight loss. Your A1C's improved. Your blood pressure's improved. Your acid reflux has improved. Why are we questioning what we're doing? I hope that makes sense. You got some choices, though. I digress. Stay overweight and enjoy it. Eat, drink, and what does the scripture say? Be merry. I really think that we give God a bad rap. I think God wants God's people to be happy. Don't you think? God wants us to be happy. How many of God's people do you see that are sick and miserable, other than when they're eating at the El Nepal? But God wants you to be. They did a thing not long ago. I can't cite it, but you'll have to take my word for it. And the most miserable people in the United States from a happiness standpoint and joy with their life were Christians. They were the least happy. Can somebody square that for me? Can somebody explain that study to me? I don't know if it's true. It could be another fake study to try to get people to turn away from Christianity. But I don't know. Experientially, I know a lot of Christians that are miserable. They're miserable to be around. They ain't happy unless they're eating or talking about somebody. I love my brothers and sisters. I consider myself a part of the household of faith, but they ain't happy unless they got somebody to pull down or they're eating. We're supposed to be merry and happy. So if losing weight with this program, like this, if you're miserable doing it, just go eat and drink and be happy. There's nothing better than breaking bread with a brother and sister who loves to eat. I love it. I don't have to carry that weight around anymore, so I'm not worried about it. I love you. But then you got the next step. But Travis, I'm not happy being overweight. What should I do? Well, here's a program, and here's how you can do the program. You won't be able to eat sugar every day like you used to and lose weight. You have to control insulin. I didn't make this up. It's a biological fact. If you're not controlling insulin, you're going to store fat. You're going to be in a growth mode around the clock. It's a hormone, and it's a powerful one. And you're going to store fat. So you're going to have to replace your sugar with either no sweetener or a sugar substitute that helps control insulin. Does that make sense? It's simple. If we make it simple, it's simple. Do I feel like I need something sweet? If I'm going to need something sweet in my journey, then I have a choice. Processed sugar or processed sugar alcohols or stevia. You have to pick it, and you've got to pick it now. And we need more. Can I just keep going for a minute? I might lose some members. I don't need to. But we need a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego mindset. The Bible says that in the last days, that even the elect of God will be deceived if it were possible. Wake up. I'm worried about, they tell me my Jesus isn't real. But I've had experiences with my Jesus that they tell me was all in my head. But here's what I know. Whether it was real or in my head, Jesus has improved my life. That's anecdotal, but it works for me. And I know when I turn my back on Jesus, my life digresses. So you can, Travis, prove Jesus to me. You prove to me that the air exists. I don't go by what my Christian brothers and sisters tell me works. I don't go by what Google tells me what works. I try something for a season, and if it produced good results, I stick with it. So I've got a choice. If I want to eat regular processed sugar, I can lose some water weight, I can lose some glucose, but I'm not going to lose fat. You can't do it when you have high levels of growth hormone surging through your system. So then I could choose, like we said earlier, a divine day. Does anybody see the divine day in their Dropbox? Nothing, you can't, on a divine day, it's simple. You can't have anything on a divine day, like you're saying, on Thursday, I'm having a divine day. Maybe we should have a little 3-day challenge where we all have divine days. Do that as a family. So a divine day is you can't have anything in the ingredients that you can't pronounce. And it's not just that, that's just the first level. Nothing chemical. It has to be just beans or just chicken, or it can't have any additives in it. It's hard to have a divine day. It really narrows your variety. You could do that, but can you live forever that way? I can't. You might can. I built a program where no MCT. I do on my divine days. But really, if you're going to be a purist, you need nothing but ghee butter. If you're going to be a purist, or you need to cook in water, or you need to grill on low temperatures. High temperatures corrupt the integrity of the food you're eating. You've got to decide. At some point, y'all got to decide. You've got to put your line in the sand like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and say, whether God will save us or whether God won't, we decided a long time ago that we would not bow down to any other God but our God. We decided when will you decide? This is why so many back and forth. If you choose Nutrisystem, stick with it. If you choose Weight Watchers, stick with it. Why are you coming over here if Weight Watchers works? If you can live the Weight Watcher lifestyle or the Jenny Craig lifestyle or the clean eating lifestyle where you eat nothing synthetic, go for it. I care more about your health and life than you being a part of our little program. I'd rather you be a part of our little program, but I care more about your health and life. I'm not going to be here forever. I can't take this with me. I'd rather know that behind me, I left, I met people and I improved their life rather than taking away from it. If Shibboleth's taking away from your life, I don't want you to do it. But for me, it's offered me amazing variety. There's sometimes I want a chip, and it's so good. It's so comforting for me to know I can go to the Mexican restaurant and take my Quest chips in, and I'm controlling the fat bus. It's so awesome for me to know that I'm focused on delicious foods that help me lose weight and not focused on delicious foods that cause me to gain weight. It's all lifestyle, people. I love you, but you've got to, I can't listen. Do y'all know what bots are? Do y'all know what bots are online? The little fake bots. Is there any way that little old Travis is going to be able to compete with millions of blogs that go against everything we believe in every day? I might as well shut the doors today and give up. I'm not going to be able to compete. The people putting out, look, used to, at least if somebody was going to do research, it took them time, and they would do that research, and then it might take 3 or 4 months for them to get their article out there, and it'd be a research. Now they can go to ChatGPT and say, give me an article against eating broccoli and the harms of broccoli. And I need it to be 10 pages long. Every bad thing that would persuade somebody not to eat broccoli. ChatGPT can churn that out in 3 seconds. Did you know that? So what are you going to do? I could have also said, give me all the evidence that broccoli is good for us, and then you could have weighed it, but they don't do that. Almost everything online is what kind of news? Don't y'all be deceived. Almost everything is clickbait to make money. And what do people respond to? Good news or bad news? What do people respond to? Fear? Yes. Fear, 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 fear. Just like you didn't, when you started this program because you were in pain. Pain gets people to move. Fear causes them to click. Now, I would understand if somebody had sugar alcohol, a little bit of sugar alcohol, and it made them sick. But if all of a sudden an article pops up and says, sugar alcohol is terrible for you, it's terrible. And by the way, I can't wait to read it now. I done got myself fired up, even though I don't have time to read another study. Charles got me fired up because what do they come up with now? I mean, I guarantee you that if you have a dump truck load of it, it's not good for you. But if you're eating mostly healthy whole foods and eating negligible, let me digress again. I'm going to digress again. How many of you deep down, you feel called, you know that it would be hard. I'm not saying that you can do it, but you deep down, it just sounds sizzly and sexy to say, from now on, I'm not going to eat anything but clean foods. That's what I feel called to do, is to only eat clean, fresh, organic, beautiful foods, nothing synthetic. That's what I feel like doing. That's what I'm going to do. Anybody feel called to that? If you feel called to that, then what's preventing you from doing it? I suggest because around you, unless you are willing to live in a silo, around you, you come face to face with way too much temptation. And what I love about Shibboleth, we can clean eat 80% of the time, but that 20% of the time when we need just a little something extra because everybody else is eating it or drinking it or whatever, now we know how to do it. Now we know how to do that. We know how to control insulin. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I'm a big proponent, if you can't tell, of sugar alcohol over processed sugar. After a workout, I've been doing high protein and I take creatinine. Is this okay? Yes, creatine's great for muscular endurance and strength. Fantastic to have some creatine. Watch out for the ones that are loaded in sugar. I use Beverly creatine, sometimes Advocare's creatine. When you lost your weight in 6 months, did you have any holidays? Oh, yeah. I had a lot of holidays over 6 months. I would say I averaged 6 a month. In fact, I went initially, I didn't have any holidays. I lost my first 40 pounds in like 6 weeks, no holidays. But then I started having holidays, and I've been living with holidays ever since then for 20 years. I love holidays. That's like Sometimes they don't feel like a reward. They make me sick later, but in the moment, it's good just to let your guard down and realize how, for me, realize how much I love my lifestyle and ready to get back to it. I love Shibboleth. It makes me feel so good. I get to eat great foods and lose weight. Are you kidding me? So I love it. But yeah, it's fun every once in a while. You round some friends or whatnot to, just let your guard down. So holidays are good, but I like to earn my holidays. So how soon are you going to do line days? Not sure I understand the question. You can do a line day any day you want to do one. There's videos explaining line days in the video library, Sharon. I don't think that's your question, but maybe if you'll expound on that. But yeah, as many times, as often as I feel like doing a line day. If I've been craving full fat cheese or full fat meat, that's usually like the next day I'm having a line day. The thing about a line or shark day, heavy fat, good for you fats, if you cook them and prepare them right. But if you lose your discipline during the day and you go have something, even approve something that you're not supposed to with a line or shark day, you've messed your whole day up really bad. So very important that we understand a line or shark day, and we're committed to doing it at least a full 24-hour cycle. I'm talking about your Facebook post about a group. Again, I do so many posts, I don't know, Sharon. I'm sorry. I might remember in a minute. Tammy or Joni might refresh my memory. I'm talking about your Facebook post about a group. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, Charles is having a line week too, Paulette. I'm trying to do it with him. I slipped up a little bit last night. Had some okra, which is one of the tiers, but I was trying to be a purist. But anyway, still good, still doing good. Karen says it right. You have to have a lifestyle that makes you happy. Whatever you're doing that doesn't make you happy, you're not going to do for long. Can you eat multigrain wassa bread with Mott Wendy's chili? Yeah, you can have one of those as a condiment. I would call that a condiment if you have one of those wassas. Do I need to cut back on using MCT oil? Are you having some problems with it? Who was that? I'm not looking in the Q&A section now. I'm going through the thread because I answered all the Q&As. Desiree, do I need to cut back? Why would you ask so that I can answer better? Are you having problems? I'm assuming you're asking for a reason that there's some problem. No, I don't have problems, but I use it daily. No, I use it daily too. It's fantastic. It's fantastic for the brain. Studies have suggested that, and it's antiviral and antibacterial too. Studies have suggested, real studies have suggested that it helps with Alzheimer's. It's amazing. Now, I don't believe in supplementing with it. I believe in, if a recipe calls for it, I just cook in it. That's it. That's how I use it. There have been times where I tried to build some muscle, and I've used it as a supplement because it has a muscle protein sparing effect. But for my purposes, most of the time, I'm using it in place of any other oil in a recipe that would call for an oil. What am I talking about? For example, an egg white omelet. So if I use MCT to make my egg white omelet, egg white and spinach and cheese omelet, then I'm promoting better fat loss. Gives a lot of energy too. MCT oil, if you have too much, can move your bowels for sure, but it's usually going to be loose stool or diarrhea. If you have too much MCT, kind of has the same impact that too much sugar alcohol will have. I wish we could change the name of our program to not just the most fun weight loss, but also the happy program. We want to help people come to one of two conclusions. Either Shibboleth makes me happy or Shibboleth makes me sad. And we want to hug the sad people and walk to the door with them and say, we still be brother and sister. We love you. Be praying for you. Hope you find your happy program. We want happy people. We want a different culture, a different vibe. And, we want to bring together people that want to personally develop. And we still believe in our Christian lifestyle, but we're understanding some flaws and holes in our game as individuals. We stop looking for problems with others and look in the mirror and we say, I want to live happier and healthier and be a light to more people with less judgment, less worry. And that, by the way, pray for me. That's been my thing lately. Over the last 3 or 4 months, some of those old depression things are coming back. I don't want to go again and be prescribed, but I'm just caught up in worry instead of faith. Why worry when you can pray? And I need your prayers. I come here and I try to be vulnerable with everybody, even though sometimes that causes me some problems, especially the more people that we come in contact with, they can tend to think, that you're inhuman. And I want to show you that I'm human. I want to show you that this hasn't been the easiest journey for me ever, but I'm having fun with it and I'm developing, and I have problems too. I'm not going to be the one to come here and say, y'all pray for me. I forgot to tip my waitress and I'm afraid I'm going to hell. I'm the kind that might show up today and say, y'all, I got drunk last night and I need y'all to pray for me because I hadn't got drunk in 7 months. And I fell down last night. I had 1 glass and then it turned into 2. And before I knew it, I drank the whole bottle and made a fool of myself. Y'all pray for me. I'll lose half my members, but I had rather be authentic and honest. I think that's what's going to differentiate Shibboleth, because you got all this fake stuff all the time. I can't stand it. Fake, 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 fake. Everything's Photoshop. You don't know what's real anymore. There's even a video. I seen Tom Cruise on a TikTok video. I thought it was Tom Cruise. It wasn't Tom Cruise. Sure did look like him. So I'd rather just be honest and authentic. And the Bible says to share our faults with one another. If we were going to glory in anything, let's glory in our weaknesses so that we might pray for one another. But poor old Christian people, if they tell anybody what their fault is, the next thing they know, they're being attacked by 20 church people. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm getting on a rant. Can you tell people's been picking on me? People been picking on me the last 2 weeks. Why is everybody always picking on me? Charlie Brown, he's a clown. So I've been picked on lately. Now I got a chip on my shoulder. All these people judge. I get so tired of it. I can't tell you who it is, Charles. Then I would be as bad as them. Anybody else? What is MCT made from? It's made from coconuts or palm, but it's all the long chain triglycerides have been extracted, leaving nothing but the 100% MCT oil. I don't have a date yet for the Austin Powers Challenge. Originally, it was the 6th. But when I said that, I was under the impression that my move would not take 2 weeks, that my Jeep brakes would not fall out the back, and that what else did I did not count on the landlord that I really am praying for. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All in God's timing. God orders our steps. I will be doing a partner class tomorrow. Yes, Lisa. I don't know what I'll be doing yet. I got 2 or 3 topics. It depends on which one I complete first. I got 2 or 3 topics I've been working on. So partner class tomorrow. Thank you, Brenda.
Hey, Travis.
Yes.
Since we've been talking about MCT oil, one of the ladies said that she sprayed the oil on her food. She says, I have some MCT oil in a spray bottle and use it on my food. So I asked her if she's spraying it on her food or if she's cooking with it. So I thought you might kind of expand on that.
If you're spraying it on your food, you're really doing that to supplement with it because you believe in the benefits of it. I'm not going to tell you not to. It's still calories. So where calories are unnecessary, I don't add them. I don't care how good a thing is for you. Wish I need my bell back, Tammy. I don't care how good a thing is for you. If you're trying to lose weight, adding unnecessary calories is never the way forward. Even though we say it and every other program says it, and it's kind of what I've been railing against today, there's really no such thing as a fat-burning food. Now, I can make the case that there is, because I can say if you're already in a calorie deficit and it's time to eat and you eat something like broccoli, you're going to expend more energy than if you ate something unlike broccoli. So you can indirectly say that it's a fat-burning food. But to just add calories to something for the sake of adding calories isn't helping your weight management program. If a recipe is undesirable to me without fat in it, I'm using MCT oil. Does that make sense, everybody, how I'm putting that? If not, I'll try a different way. If a recipe does not call for fat, I'm not at, for example, whole eggs. I never cook whole eggs in MCT oil unless I'm out of cooking spray. Whole eggs already have fat. I don't want to add additional fat. Make sense? So I use a cooking spray. Never, if your goal is to try to, only time you want to start adding calories for the sake of adding calories is if your goal is to stop the fat loss. A tablespoon of MCT oil is still more than 100 calories. I'm only using it if I need to cook something in a fat or oil to make it taste better. Egg whites, fat-free cheese. I don't like fat-free cheese, but if I add MCT oil to it, now it tastes like a more traditional full-fat cheese to me. So I just replace my cooking oils with MCT. What are food? Oh, we answered that one. Do you use hemp hearts, or would that be more of a supplement like you're discussing with MCT? I eat it like I would any other food. If I'm desiring hemp hearts, how would I eat hemp hearts? I would use them as my protein source in a salad. Like if I'm wanting to have a plant-based salad with no meat, then I would use 3 to 5 tablespoons of hemp hearts because they give me the protein I need in my salad. So I don't add anything because I think it's going to help me burn fat. Doesn't work that way. Hemp hearts are extremely healthy. They're great to be eating on our program, but you have to eat them right. They're a superfood. So 3 to 5 tablespoons on a salad. Now, what if I've got a grilled chicken salad and I want some hemp hearts? I would add some as a condiment, especially to promote regularity. But I would, if I'm happy with my grilled chicken salad without hemp hearts, then I'm not going to have hemp hearts. We got to get out of the mindset of thinking any food burns fat. They can help burn fat, but no food by itself burns fat. They can help. There's foods that are better for you if you're trying to burn fat. Look at the weight loss meter. That kind of defines, the weight loss meter kind of tells you which foods are better for helping you while you're in a calorie deficit burn fat. I don't believe in supplementing with calories. Again, unless maybe I'm constipated and I might start eating some hemp hearts. I might start supplementing with them, adding additional hemp heart calories. to help promote regularity. They're amazingly healthy. They're great for new mothers. Hemp hearts really help with milk production. So, yeah. Laura says, I mistakenly used MCT with cooking whole eggs. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's fine to do that. I've done it. But it's not optimal to add more calories to something already high in fat, if that makes sense. I do it all the time too. But if I were optimizing myself, trying to lose as much fat as possible, I would stop while I'm about to make my eggs and ask, is this necessary? No, I could add a 0-calorie cooking spray and the eggs are still going to taste fine. That's what I would do. There are 3,500 calories stored in 1 pound of fat. The only way to lose 1 pound of fat is to operate in a 3,500 calorie deficit. So every calorie we don't need is a calorie not coming from fat stores. Does that make sense? If you want to know the approximate number of calories that you burn a day at your current size, you take your current weight times 10, and that's going to be approximately how many calories you need a day to maintain your current weight. Then you need to fall well below that to lose body fat on a daily basis. So getting in the habit of eating in a way where you fall below that number every day, and then, nothing's going to stop you. Because over time, too, as your weight's coming down, even though you fell way below your baseline metabolic rate, what happens, a lot of people get in trouble with this, too. What happens is, like when I was 300 pounds, I was 300, I needed about 3,000 calories to maintain that weight, or thereabout. That's just approximation. I wanted to be 200 pounds. So I needed to have, to get to 200 pounds over time, I would need about 2,000 calories. Now, this is why I take my ideal weight times 8, and I try to stay even below that number. I try to stay with 1,600, because by that time, when I get down to my maintenance level, I actually get to increase my calories. But what happens is, as I'm eating like this down here and I'm up here, as you start going down, the number of calories you need is going down too. This is why people hit plateaus about halfway through their journey, because they didn't start down here. They were having, instead of 2,000 calories, they were maybe having 2,500. They lost weight pretty fair, but their size, their mass was going down too. They needed less calories. And then all of a sudden they're at 250. And now they only need 2,500, and they've already conditioned themselves to eat 2,500, so they hit a plateau. That's why I tell people, figure out what your ideal weight is, multiply that times 8, and stay below that number until you reach your goal and control insulin, and you will never, ever hit a plateau. Even on my holidays, used to, I had hog trough days, but now even on my holidays, I try to stay below my calorie number. I'm just eating incorrect things. Used to use bio coffee and hot chocolate, but lately I get hungry. Should I add something to keep me full? No, we don't want to be full. So Juanita, what we got to work on is enjoying the light feeling, the lightness of being feeling, an empty stomach, a stomach that's not stretched. So if you're getting 3 eating episodes and still hungry, you probably need to add more protein to the eating episode. So I don't know how many eating episodes, but you're saying you're not satisfied anymore. You used to be satisfied with hot chocolate and bio coffee, but not anymore. Should I add more to keep me full? I don't like to be full. My personal philosophy. If you wanted to add an additional package of hot chocolate, then maybe. But yeah, if we need more than 3 eating episodes in a day, it's psychological, especially if you're getting enough protein. So Juanita, I see that you're having 3 eating episodes and still getting hungry. Get some more protein for one of those eating episodes. Add you some additional ounces of protein. Protein will help with satiety. Water, yeah, Sharon, water will help with satiety. Yep. Anybody else? Yeah, Juanita, if your hunger persists, you might want to get a mentor appointment, let somebody look at your journal. Are you journaling, Juanita? Would you like me to look at your journal in front of everybody, or would you prefer a one-on-one mentor appointment? Any other questions before we go? Had a terrible holiday on Sunday. That may be why has these hunger issues just started, Juanita? Okay, well, let's give that time. So you spiked your insulin, and until we get those insulin levels abated some, does anybody remember what insulin does? It stores fat, stops fat burning. What else does insulin do, everybody? This actually makes more sense now, Juanita. It increases hunger. Anytime we have a holiday for a few days, our food's not going to satisfy us as much. Does that make sense, everyone? So you just have to be prepared for that. So you think about it. Before, your health-wise hot chocolate and bio coffee was satisfying you. Now all of a sudden it's not. Higher insulin levels. When you have high insulin levels, nothing's going to satisfy your appetite. Even how many of you have eaten to the point that you feel your stomach stretched and you still can't stop eating? Insulin, 80% of that is insulin. 20% of it's just emotional. You get a dopamine release, you get a feel-good chemical release when you eat all that delicious food that causes you to gain weight. Can I recommend any books for you? Yes, the Bible, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The Untethered Soul. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. That's where I'd start. Those are good. All of them short reads. I know they've been a help to me. Some people like Made to Crave. I liked it. It was pretty good. But as far as a personal development, As a Man Thinketh, Hung by Your Own Tongue is a good read. Hung by Your Own Tongue. The Four Agreements, The Untethered Soul, and As a Man Thinketh. Those really helped me a lot. The Magic of Thinking Big. positive thinking. Those are all good ones. Yeah, Tammy will try to add that for you while we're wrapping it up. You're welcome. Brother Charles clicked on, we'll finish up with Charles' study today. Let me speed read this bad boy. The artificial sweetener, cardiovascular risk. Artificial sweeteners are widely used sugar substitutes, but little is known about their long-term effects on cardiometabolic disease risk. Here we examine the commonly used sugar substitute erythritol in initial untargeted metabolic studies in the cardio risk. Circulating levels of multiple polyol sweeteners, especially erythritol, were associated with instant 3-year risk for major adverse cardiovascular events. Subsequent targeted validation cohorts at physiological levels, erythritol enhanced platelet reactivity in vitro, thrombosis, formation in vivo. Finally, in a prospective pilot intervention study, erythritol ingestion in healthy volunteers induced marked and sustained increases of plasma erythritol levels well above thresholds associated with heightened platelet reactivity and thrombosis, potential in vitro, blah, blah. So, boom, this is the study. It's bad for you. Okay. All right, let me fix that real quick. Did y'all understand any of that? Did y'all understand any of that? Hold on now. Yeah, there were 8 participants. Thank you, Jennifer. Sorry, Jennifer, thank you. She nailed it. There were only 8 participants. Oh, Lord, y'all. What are we going to do? That was great. That was great. There's only 8 participants. We're giving this any credence. Sugar, the effects of added sugar. And again, there's a million studies on this. This is Harvard education. The effects of added sugar intake, high blood pressure, inflammation, weight gain, diabetes, fatty liver disease are all linked to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Did we just fix it? So before I read that study, everything I said earlier was spot on, right? If you're going to eat sugar, replace it with sugar alcohol or don't have either. Whatever sugar alcohol does to you, sugar does times 10. Amen? How much international egg whites can I have with Beverly UMP? Oh, you're after my heart. I love those shakes with Egg Whites International. Yummy, yummy, awesome, awesome. I just replace it like it's all water. So if the mix calls for 8 ounces, I use 8 ounces. Some people cut it with water because it's too thick. So you could use 4 ounces of the egg whites, 4 ounces of water. I just do a 1-to-1 ratio, Angela. Takes that shake and I'm going to contradict myself, turns it into a blowtorch the booty shake. Everybody satisfied? Everybody good for today? We don't have to be good for tomorrow, as long as we're good for today. Perfect, Cindy. That's awesome. 4 ounces of egg whites with 4 ounces of water. Can we eat a healthy Alfredo pasta? Yeah. Get you one of those McCormick's Alfredo mix packs and then use Shibboleth approved ingredients. That's all you got to do. Walden Farms has some Alfredo, but I don't like it too much. Let's see. Let me pull this up here, see what's in it. Combined sauce mix with listen, everybody, we're going to end it on this one today. Okay, we're going to end it on this one. The question is, can we have Alfredo? So there's McCormick's Alfredo mix, and there's many other mix packs. Everybody listening? This is how simple this is, everyone. Watch. I hope y'all love Shibboleth as much as I do. So the ingredients are going to say something like this. So I've got my approved pasta. Let's say that I'm using the Fiber Gourmet spiral pasta, the rotini or whatever, and I'm going to make it into a tuna Alfredo or beef Alfredo or whatever. So I've got my Alfredo. It says I need 3/4 cups of milk. Which milk would I want to replace that with, everyone? Can't have regular milk full of sugar and fat. That will ruin it. That will wreck the recipe, that milk. We want to use fat-free Fairlife, not skim milk, April. Most people think when you say fat-free that you mean skim, but fat-free Fairlife, high-protein milk, or Kroger Carbmaster milk. 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. What would we want to use there? Ghee. And guess what? You'll have even a better tasting Alfredo. Somebody shout. Somebody say, glory. Glory. Woo. It's all easy with Shibboleth, y'all. You're just changing out some ingredients. That's it. It's just a pivot. Just a pivot. And it is the difference between the weight falling off and the weight not falling off. Why? Insulin control. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.